Sillyboy is the new novel by Peter Vack. Peter is a filmmaker, actor, writer, and this is his first novel. I was first introduced by his work, I would say, on the 2006 PlayStation 2 classic Bully by Rockstar Games. He played the voice of Gary, the antagonist of the game. But really, it wasn't until 2017 with his movie Assholes. I remember reading about it on Entertainment Weekly, and when reading what this movie was about, I just couldn't believe it. I thought it sounded insane, and sure enough, definitely a highlight of indie film in the 2010s. And it stemmed into this proto-sequel in 2021, directed by his sister Betsy Brown and co-starring Vack as well, called Actors. And this made it on my top 10 in 2021. I found this to be a remarkable, honest, and almost exposing movie. It was just unlike anything that I've seen. Like, still, Peter has gone on to star in a handful of other projects. He seemingly is always working. He has another feature film that is coming out this year, which brings us to Sillyboy, and it is released by Cash for Gold Books. This is a new imprint, I believe ran by author John Lindsay, who did the book Body High a couple years back. Highly enjoyed that. So really, I was excited for anything that he would push out. And to see this collaboration with Peter, I'm happy to say this is an excellent first novel. Like, wow. The best thing too is I think anybody can get into this. I don't think you need to know the lore of the Brown cinematic universe. The book focuses on this guy named Sillyboy. He is this 28-year-old aspiring actor and writer. He lives in New York City with his girlfriend, who is a Chinese American tattoo artist named Chloe. And she's very sweet and hardworking, but also a little obsessed with her phone, alongside Sillyboy. And she is really starting to believe that there are some things that Sillyboy is just not honest about with her. There's some great sentences here that go into the writing process that Sillyboy is undertaking to make this perfect movie that he will be the star of. Sillyboy knew he must write himself an iconic star vehicle like Rocky, like Bananas, like Garden State, like Tiny Furniture, like Yentl, like Braveheart, like Good Will Hunting, with Sillyboy's name in every above-the-line category. Sillyboy would become perfect talent, macho and gammon, aggressive and acquiescent. Something I really liked about this book was the world building. Clearly, it takes place in a world similar to ours, and in a time period that's at least close to the 2020s. Sillyboy's favorite artist is Future, and he speaks multiple times in the book about the power of his music. I agree, it's how Future talks about women, and if he actually does as many drugs as he says he does, he's a sad addict who's going to die a tragic death. But I hate maudlin white people music. I refuse to listen to fucking singer-songwriter John Mayer. I had a bad day, let me strum my guitar and sing about my cat collection. I have enough sad white person going on in my own personality. Future is uplifting, his songs are joyous to me. There's also these moments in the story where Sillyboy is letting out all of this rage after an argument between him and Chloe. Sillyboy, what? Jesus, you know I'm right. You sound crazy, or like alt-right or something. It's weird. Alt-right? LMAO. I am so far left. I'm left out. Also, I'm too psychoanalyzed to be alt-right. There are a lot of great passages here with the content of Vack's films, and just the character of Sillyboy being this edgelord, that some of the content on this book does push the envelope on what is appropriate, yet at the same time this book has so much beauty to it. There's so many beautiful sentences here. Sillyboy sleeps undisturbed while the amber light of dawn breaks over the townhouses on Wilson Avenue. On a rooftop across the street from where Chloe lies awake, a man opens a pigeon coop and releases his flock. The man's birds lift off in unison and carve a pattern of repetition into the sky. The man's pigeons were born and raised in captivity and have only known the routine of the group. Soaring and falling together, it is the rare pigeon that abandons the flock. Sometimes the man wonders if his pigeons notice their status as individual birds or if they perceive themselves as one enormous pigeon and are capable of complex multi-pigeon thoughts with grand and communal pigeon dreams. And all of this culminates to a very tight final 40 pages here that I could not put down. And it turns into something dramatic and also very personal. And just this character that we spend time with, it feels a little rare in contemporary books now. I guess the easiest comparison would be Fuckboy by Shantor Conroe, which is also excellent. I really enjoyed this book. But while Fuckboy kind of feels more like a diary at points, Sillyboy just feels so dramatic and it's so polished. The 240 or so pages go by so fast. When I was reading this, it felt like such a privilege. A lot of books will lose steam midway or even earlier on. I can't really recall a moment in Sillyboy that felt dull or inconsistent. Just this take of like a modern guy, I think he nailed it. And not in a way that only guys would relate to this. I think everyone could read this and relate to a lot of what happens here. Cash for Gold also did a great job with this paperback. The pages and font look so good. Love this cover. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this. This is one of my favorite books so far this year. I would give Sillyboy an 8.5. Sillyboy is available to purchase now online and through select bookstores. Thank you so much for watching.